investigators, to investigations of the unknown. I am Mr. W, and tonight, we travel to a place marked by mystery, where the veil between our world and something other may have thinned. I'm talking about Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and the terrifying entity known only as the Mothman. For years, I've studied reports of creatures, objects, and events that defy conventional explanation. As you know, my hypothesis is that we're not merely witnessing undiscovered animals or secret military projects. No, my friends, I believe we are seeing manifestations from other dimensions. And the Mothman case? It presents some of the most compelling evidence in support of that idea. Point Pleasant is a quiet town nestled where the Ohio and Kanawha rivers meet. But in the mid-1960s, that peace was shattered. A wave of strange, disturbing occurrences would transform it into the epicenter of one of America's most chilling mysteries. The heart of the early events centered around a desolate stretch of land called the TNT Area, a leftover from World War II, once used for munition storage. It was filled with old bunkers and abandoned buildings. Some believe that the energy left behind, or something about the land itself, created what researcher John Keel referred to as a window area, a place more vulnerable to breaches from beyond our reality. On the night of November 15, 1966, two young couples were driving near the North Power Plant in the TNT area when they encountered something in the road. They described it as a tall figure, like a man dressed in dark clothing, with two large red eyes, each the size of a baseball, shining in the darkness. As they drew closer, they saw enormous wings unfold from its back. The creature quickly ran into the building, but that wasn't the end. Terrified, they drove off, but the creature chased them. It flew after their car, keeping pace even at 90 miles per hour, appearing and disappearing overhead. The encounter only ended once they reached the city limits. The next day, another sighting. Marcella Bennett and her family saw the same entity near a home in the TNT area. She described it squeezing sideways through a doorway too narrow for a normal body, something that defies our understanding of physics. Soon, the reports began to pour in. Over the next 2 years, hundreds of people would claim to see the Mothman. Descriptions varied, height estimates ranged from 6 to 10 feet, wingspans from 10 feet to an incredible 50. The color was often gray. But the most consistent and unsettling detail was always the glowing red eyes. Some witnesses said the creature had no visible head, with the eyes set into its chest. Others described claws, long toes, and a strange, almost mechanical breathing sound. These inconsistencies raise a deeper question: were all these witnesses seeing the same creature, or were they seeing something that shifted, something struggling to fully manifest in our dimension? Its ability to appear and vanish instantly is difficult to explain in biological terms. To me, it suggests a being that exists outside of linear time or physical space as we know it. The town was gripped by fear. Parents kept children inside. Many witnesses experienced trauma, some had nervous breakdowns, others developed a lasting sense that they were being watched. Some even suffered physical effects, like swollen, red eyes. Was this psychological? Or could it have been caused by radiation, energy, or frequencies beyond our perception? Then there were the omens. Several people reported having dreams, feelings of dread, or even direct mental impressions that something terrible was coming. Some believed the Mothman wasn't there to harm anyone, but to warn them. And the sightings weren't limited to the creature itself. Around the same time, the skies above Point Pleasant became active. People reported strange lights, and what can only be described as UFOs. Even members of my own family have had encounters with silent, glowing craft. It's as if the Mothman's presence was only one symptom of a larger phenomenon, a breach, perhaps, that allowed multiple entities or forces to enter our world. Then came the men in black. No, not the Hollywood kind. These were real men, tall, pale, dressed in black suits, who appeared in town, staring silently, intimidating witnesses, warning people not to talk about the creature or the lights. Some visited homes. Others showed up at the local newspaper office. They didn't identify themselves. Were they government agents? Or were they, too, part of the phenomena? The military eventually cordoned off parts of the TNT area. Residents reported seeing people in hazmat suits and military trucks moving through the zone. What were they looking for? A physical creature? Or evidence of a dimensional rift? And then, tragedy. On December 15, 1967, almost exactly 1 year after the first sighting, the Silver Bridge collapsed during rush hour traffic. 46 people died. The event shocked the nation. Investigators blamed a single cracked eye-bar. But for the people of Point Pleasant, the timing was too precise to ignore. Some had seen a large flying creature in the days leading up to the collapse. Others claimed to see men in dark clothing on the bridge. Whether the Mothman caused the disaster or predicted it remains a matter of debate. But for many, the creature's presence was a harbinger, a warning of catastrophe. So, what was the Mothman? Some say it was mass hysteria. Others believe it was a misidentified bird, perhaps a large owl or crane. Some suggest a mutated animal, altered by chemical waste or radiation left behind at the TNT site. There are even those who claim it's tied to an old Native American curse placed on the land by Chief Cornstalk. And of course, John Keel proposed that it was an extraterrestrial visitor. But none of these explanations can account for the totality of the events: the creature, the UFOs, the men in black, the physical symptoms, the collapse of the bridge, all clustered in one place and time. For me, the most compelling theory is that the Mothman is a being from another dimension, a kind of traveler or manifestation crossing briefly into our world through a thin spot in the fabric of reality. Today, the Mothman is more than just a terrifying memory. It's a symbol of Point Pleasant. There's a museum, a statue, even an annual festival in its honor. The legend has grown, but the mystery remains. And maybe that's a good thing. Because mystery forces us to think differently, to consider what lies beyond the limits of our understanding. So what do you think the Mothman really was? A physical creature? A warning? A visitor from beyond the veil of our reality? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden truths of our world, and others, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep your eyes on the sky, and perhaps, keep an eye on the spaces in between.